In recent years, VMware has been aggressively marketing their vSAN technology as the future of storage. vSAN is what we call software-defined storage. You install disks into your hosts, and vSAN combines them to create a virtual SAN. Unlike traditional storage systems, you don't define some disks as RAID 1 and some as RAID 5. Instead, you define the resiliency strategy on the VM itself, and vSAN will intelligently distribute the VM across all of the disks in the cluster. For example, if you define a VM as being mirrored, then vSAN will store each block on two different disks on two different hosts, wherever it can fit them in. Another VM might be configured for parity, and its blocks will be separated across three hosts, potentially using the same disks as the VM we selected for mirroring. vSAN also uses SSD and NVMe disks to automatically tier the storage and provide caching capabilities to optimize the performance. In fact, vSAN requires SSDs to be compliant. vSAN requires that the hardware and firmware versions are certified for use with vSAN. Additionally, there are guidelines specifying the amount of SSD-based cache that should be in each host. To simplify the process of procuring a vSAN solution, VMware provide vSAN Ready nodes. These are pre-configured bundles from their hardware partners like Dell, HP Enterprise and IBM, which have the necessary certified disks, controllers and networking components, along with licenses for vSAN itself. Originally, vSAN required a minimum of 3 hosts. In more recent versions, support for 2-node clusters has been added, but this requires a third host to act as a witness. This witness host does not need to have any disks installed. It just needs enough storage for ESX itself and a small amount extra to store the witness objects. Generally speaking, a minimum of 4 hosts is recommended for vSAN. In a 4-node vSAN, if a host is offline, either intentionally and during maintenance or otherwise, vSAN will automatically rebuild the missing object on the other hosts still in the cluster, so as to maintain resiliency. However, in a 2 or 3 node cluster, this can't happen, and the cluster will remain in a degraded state. It'll be servicing the virtual machines, no problem, but it will be marked as degraded because it knows it can't tolerate an additional failure. vSAN won't allow you to make any changes in that state, including creating new VMs, whilst that vSAN is degraded. So without further ado, let's dive in and create a vSAN.